My worst fear was that I was ready and you were falling in love with someone else. No, it's happening. Can we be done?
Hey guys, let's go. All right, we got the Ultimatum
Queer Love
Season 2.
That's right, Queer Love Season 2.
The women are back.
Yeah. It's about time we get an Ultimatum show, man. It's been a while since we had it. You know, we always love doing this. But hey, before we even get into that, guys, if you haven't checked out The Snake yet on Fox and Hulu, we're reviewing that one right now. It's actually a pretty cool reality show. So if you get a chance, check it out and check us reviewing it out. And please hit that like and subscribe. I always mention it at the end, and these guys are like, bro, you should mention it at the beginning, so I'm doing it now. Like and subscribe.
So, what do we think of these paired couples?
Yeah, I don't know,
Who
man.
stands out to you?
As a couple, who stands out to me? Well, you got Pilar and her girl been together for 10 years, and you're like,
10
damn.
years, yeah, that's a long
Haley.
time.
That's crazy, man, yeah. So,
Yeah, but they had only come out, like, the first 8 years of their relationship was a secret.
yeah, well, and like they've been each other's only freaking girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
So, but then you got that other couple only been together for a year and a half. So I really don't know why they're on this show. Like a year and a half, like you're pushing for marriage. Like, come on now, man, give her a couple more
When
years.
you know,
at least.
you know.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
what 1/2 says, anyway.
So, who do we like?
Digging me some Dana. Yeah, Dana. I like Brittany. Liking Brittany, and I like
Megan.
Megan's cool, man. Megan's just a good soul. Dude. I like Megan.
Yeah.
Megan's cool as hell.
I like Megan. And I gotta say, I was drawn to AJ at the beginning there.
AJ?
Yeah, she was
AJ.
sucking me in, just like
Nope.
everybody
like
else.
everybody else. Yeah.
Just like everybody else. I was
Yeah,
falling for it.
AJ's a player, man. She's playing everybody.
I
Yeah.
kind of like Bridget. I'm digging her little 80s
I do like
vibe.
Bridget, yeah. I
But
do
Bridget's
like
got the
Bridget.
soul glow hair, man. Like,
She's got the sparkles
I
going.
can't get over that soul glow hair with her, man. It's like, girl, it ain't the 80s no more. You gotta fix that.
But I do like her. She's a cool person too.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting hearing these guys' story and stuff. Like, Megan has issues with her folks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's somehow holding her relationship back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be tough, you know, because that's going to be tough whatever relationship she gets in. She doesn't want to get married without the support of her family, and it doesn't sound like her family's going to support her to get married.
No,
Yeah, I guess she's
not-
like
No.
Lebanese, so maybe her culture
exactly.
isn't open to that.
So she's going to have to find someone who doesn't want to get married.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it boils down
Or
to.
she's going to have to get over it and marry without the support of her family.
Yeah, and Bridget feels like she's already committed and doesn't need really to be married.
So that's someone that Megan should try to go for.
right, exactly.
That's
that
exactly,
person Megan
yeah.
needs.
There you go.
And supposedly, Marita has a wandering eye.
Yeah. You know what's funny is in the beginning when they were
Marita's
talking,
young. I mean, she's 25, right? So-
Ashley and Marita, when they were kind of like sitting there talking, Marita was just very dismissive of Ashley, saying, you know, I've given you these things. She's like, yeah, right, like whatever, yeah. She's like, I feel like I've done all these things. She's like, yeah, okay.
She's not getting the romance,
yeah.
Ashley.
And that's
So
apparently
the
what it
problem.
is.
That's right.
But,
Marita's not getting romance from her, Ashley, that she needs, you know?
Yeah.
So.
but I thought it was kind of rude of how dismissive she was of Ashley at first. And then later on you find out it's more about a romantic thing. But
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to hear you say you were kind of like impressed with AJ in the beginning.
I know.
Because like Bridget and AJ are talking, and they're like, "Do you think you could fall in love with someone?" And they're like, "I think we could." And it's like, well, that's not a good sign.
Right. If you're thinking that right off the bat, it's like, well, damn, you should have broken up a long time ago then.
yeah.
Yeah, so she seems kind of playerish to me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's for.
Have you not watched? Have you not been here as I've watched these shows? I fall for the players.
And by the way, we're reviewing the first 3 episodes right now. The next 4 will come in another video.
Yeah.
But yeah, just in this first 3 episodes, that's all we watched right now. Yeah, she's super playerish. I mean, she's a total player.
I tend to fall for those, but I see Megan is not that, and I do like Megan a lot too because she is that genuine person. I see that she really loves her partner, and you can see that she really doesn't want to risk losing her.
But I think she's the one giving the ultimatum, so...
No,
Megan was the one that was given the ultimatum.
she was given it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she, you know, because she doesn't want to get married because of the support of her family.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't want to lose her partner. So she's, I don't know. She's genuine. She likes her person, but she's actually, now that she's just decided to stay, she's embracing what she can take from the experiment.
Well, I mean, and she flat out told Dana, look, like if things get physical between you and whoever you pick, she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bounce back from that.
Yeah, she's made that very clear a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're using the same format as always. You start off by getting introduced to the couples, and then they start dating each other, I guess. Yeah. Going on little mini speed dates.
Oh, yeah.
And this portion lasted, it seems like, longer than usual.
Yeah, it just seems drag out a little bit longer than they typically
stage.
do, I think. Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting, too, because, like, AJ, I forget who she's talking to, but she's telling her about a discussion with her mom. And I was like,
oh.
She'll ask you some weird, hard questions.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like, hey, when you eat my daughter, does she enjoy it?
Oh, wow. Dude, yeah. Yeah,
that was Bridget.
Like, that was crazy, man. Yeah.
That was Bridget. Bridget brought up sex.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and she's like, it wasn't really an open discussion with my parents. And she's like, how was it in your household? And she's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, my mom was asking my girlfriend how deep she was getting in it. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, man.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of enjoying, like, the conversation about kids. Because Megan at one point is having a conversation, and then she's like, oh, I'll have the kid. Like, one girl was like, I don't know about that. That seems kind of like painful and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I'll have the kid.
Yeah, maybe I know about it.
I was like, that's kind of an interesting dynamic where it's like either one of them could kind of step in.
Right, exactly. Like, you're not willing to? That's fine. I got it.
Yeah.
You got it covered.
She's like, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay.
That's a perk. That's a perk.
It's normally not an option in most traditional things. But
right, exactly.
There's pros and cons to these things, and that's a pro.
So what did you guys think about as people started to mingle and like hook up almost with other people? Well, not really hooking up, but making connections.
I mean, like we said, AJ, and I said it when we were early on, we were watching episodes. I'm like, dude, she's saying the exact same crap to every girl. Like, every single girl has made the same conversation, like, oh, I'm totally digging you, and oh, man, I could just see us together.
Yeah, by the time she said it to the third person,
exactly.
I caught on.
Yeah, and I was just like, this chick's saying the exact same thing, man. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And then there was one other player, what's her name, man? The chick with the food truck, she's a little playerish, not near as bad as AJ, but she was getting
Mel?
Yeah, Mel, I think,
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's on the player side for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed, like, Mel, she gets a little physical. She's, like, kind of touchy-feely.
She had
her
arm around Brittany.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And other people are noticing that, too. And Megan's noticing it because Megan's partner, is it Dana?
Dana.
Is taken towards Mel.
Oh,
and here, Megan has made it very clear the physical is the line for her.
Mm-hmm. And Dana's kind of like...
here's her partner being drawn to someone who's being very physical.
Exactly.
So.
And Dana didn't say she wasn't going to get physical, so...
Yeah.
Dana's like, look, you just got to stick it out. We got to work. We got to do this. And Megan's like, okay, fine, we can do it.
Yeah, and Megan's like, I don't think I can come back from that. And and she didn't give her that reassurance. Like,
no, she didn't.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's just like, okay, good, noted, but great.
Yeah, and here's where things get interesting because it gets a little cutthroat because everyone wants to end up with someone. You don't want to be at the table and then be left out, which is kind of like. It's a weird concept, right?
Yeah.
Because some people are always forced together.
Yeah, there's always going to be at least one couple that was forced together at the end that just didn't have a choice,
Yeah.
So that's kind of the crazy thing about this show.
But I mean, I guess it is still an experiment, and you get to see like how another person, deals with things.
Well, and here's the other thing too: is you always end up with one or two people that are crying. They're like, "I can't do this," and we had it, in this first couple episodes too. And I'm like, "Why the hell are you coming on a show like this?" If you're gonna break down and be like, I can't do it, I can't do it. It's like, why'd you come?
Have you never committed to something and then realized, hey, maybe this wasn't the thing? No. First of all, it's people who know how they feel about their partner and know that they're gonna get jealous of their partner with somebody else, right? So if you know that already, it's like it's probably best not to come on the show and get into that. Probably.
Well, I think you got to be crazy to come on the show
to
begin with.
Exactly.
That's true.
Because I don't think you're in a good space or place if you're coming on a show where you're about to trade up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they justify that in their head. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, so we get to the choice phase where they get to choose another partner, and they do it a little bit different this go around.
And I don't know if the producers made the redhead chick running to do it that way or not, but if they didn't and she chose on her own, she screwed up. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man?
I like the way she did it. No,
because she's giving too many options instead of making people have a choice right off the bat. Like, hey, say what you got to say and then choose. Like it typically goes.
Right.
This time it's like, hey, what do you like? Hey, what do you like? Hey, what do you like? Okay, now you make your choice. And it's like, huh? It's like, what the hell?
Nah,
So,
I like the way it
It's
played out.
throwing things off.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
before they get to choosing people, AJ kind of gets called out
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
by
big time.
Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she
And
said
Brit-
she's
I mean-
not afraid of confrontation. So.
No. And Bridget
She
called
bring it.
That's right.
Bridget called it out exactly how it is. She called it out exactly what I just said. Like, I noticed you talking to all these girls, saying the same shit to them you were saying to me, and AJ's like, well, I'm just making great connections. That's why we're here. We're all
Yeah.
here to make good connections with each other, and because I made a lot of connections, that's just how this show works, you know.
And poor Marita's sitting there at the table.
Yeah,
She's like,
oh yeah,
wait, what's happening?
right. She's like, look at her face, like she's just now piecing it all together. It's
Yeah.
like, how the hell did you not see it before?
Yeah.
But I was like, man,
Yeah, and Pilar is kind of like enjoying it until she like catches some strays where she gets brought
Right
into
into
it.
it, yeah.
So
oh yeah.
Yeah. I was having the conversation with Pilar. We were talking about it, and Pilar's like,
Come on,
oh.
Pilar, back me up here.
yeah, because she was like shaking her head and like, and then it's like, wait a minute, don't bring me into this. But so they get to choosing people, and then Marita chooses AJ, and then they ask Marie who she chooses, and she also chooses AJ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is a bad position to be in.
Oh, it totally.
Because only
is.
one person can end up with AJ.
Exactly.
But two people
Yeah.
just picked her.
You know, and before
But
they
then-
would have asked, before it had just been they'd ask the first person, hey, tell us who you like. And she'd told him, like, okay, choose your person. Not give two different people the choice, knowing they're going to choose the same person and then put it on that person to choose between the two. I was like,
You know,
come on,
and then
man.
Brittany speaks up and she's like, this doesn't surprise me at all. She's got the riz. It's her
Yeah.
charisma.
Yeah, she said it.
She's got the riz. It doesn't surprise me at all.
She's
that
got the
everybody-
script with the lines that
Yeah.
she uses on everybody. So
She's got game. She's got game.
Exactly.
I knew everybody was going for her, so
yeah, I guess.
it
I
didn't
mean,
surprise her at all.
so usually they choose one person. That person would ask, like, do you want to choose that person? And if
Exactly.
they say yeah, then the person who was going to choose them now pivots to someone else. Now there's no pivoting. Like
Exactly.
Marita's
well, I
in a,
like
Now,
that part.
now you're completely thrown under the bus. Everybody knows who you were gonna pick, and
Yeah.
it's just like, well, shit, I'm kind of asked out now.
yeah.
You know, so,
And whoever you end up with, it's like the second choice here.
exactly.
Well, Marina was kind of asked out on this one anyway. She wasn't. She literally wasn't talking to anybody else.
No, and when she says
Put all
that,
her eggs in
she's
one
like,
basket.
she's
Yeah.
like, I felt like you gaslit me here. Like you've been, telling me all this stuff. Like I'm your number one, top of your list, and AJ's like,
Nah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were never at the top. I mean, so
I had a list. You were on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And then AJ chooses Marie. So
And then Marie does like, right? Marie,
So keep talking.
Yeah.
and she says, like,
Finish
you
that.
kind of ruined the experience for me because what you were saying, I bought into it, so
Yeah.
I didn't really bother talking to anybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like she thought that was it, man. Like we're together. She's gonna choose me, and no, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Bridget could have fallen into the same thing, but Bridget saw it
Right.
because she was falling for it.
Oh
at
yeah.
first.
And Bridget
Yeah.
called it out in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the same thing kind of happens on the back end of everyone choosing everyone because like a couple people choose Mel here.
so in the same
Yeah,
situation, like
Brittany chooses Mel and Dana.
yeah.
And Mel did the same thing that AJ did.
Yeah, she did totally.
Mel led Brittany on, and she led Dana on.
I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily as deep as it was AJ did, but it was pretty close. Like she was definitely. I was thinking she was gonna pick Brittany because when they were like laid up and had her arm around her and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, she's probably gonna pick Brittany
Editing wise, it showed she had a better
Right.
connection
with Brittany. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and maybe that was intentionally
Yeah.
deceiving us.
Yeah.
And I mean, in fact, it was a little bit of a surprise when Dana kind of called her out that last night. She's like, "Why are you acting like I'm not even here? You're not coming and talk to me." She's like, "I feel like you're leading me on. I will run your truck into the river."
Run your
Like,
food
and
truck
I
in
was
the
like,
river.
Mel. At this point, I was like, she was probably like, "I
See-
gotta run from this
Right.
chick."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
see,
just
that
crazy.
was odd because I was like, who is this chick coming on so
Yeah.
strong to her and dictating this
'Cause we
when we
haven't
haven't even
even
seen them
Yeah.
talk?
Yeah.
So they obviously have been talking pretty close.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true. And,
And she felt a certain way to be able to approach her like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they didn't really show us viewers.
They tricked
that.
us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, they did.
So they showed us a lot of her and Mel and Brittany's connection, but they didn't show the Dana and Mel like connection growing. So
Yeah, so Brittany and Marita are kind of like the leftovers.
Right,
here.
exactly. Yeah, they're kind of stuck in. And here's the thing, like, both of them like more masculine women, right? But neither one of them are masculine, so it's gonna be, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that kind of plays out, right? So,
Now, I will say, because after this, obviously, everyone goes to their joint apartments and they're discussing all these things. I did like Brittany, the way she handled it.
Oh, dude,
She's
Brittany
trying to make the most
Brittany's
of
a sweetheart,
it.
man.
So-
Brittany is a sweetheart. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
she's like, I've heard what you said you needed out of a relationship. She was talking to Marita. I already know what you need. I'm going to try to be there for you. And I was waiting for Marita to like reciprocate and be like, yeah, I what is it you need? Marita's like,
thanks.
yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
But the next morning, then the nice Marita comes out, and she does return the favor a bit there with the
Yeah.
hugging and all that stuff. So that was
Well,
good to see.
I mean, Brittany may have realized it in the next. I mean, maybe if Marita had returned it that night before, Brittany would have felt a little more comfortable the next morning. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, it was funny watching some of these like open up bottles and stuff too, because like the other partner is normally the one that
opens the
takes
bottle.
control and does that
Exactly.
kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So, but it's funny too because Mel and AJ are talking and breakfast is brought up and Mel's like, or AJ's like, whatever you're gonna cook me or whatever. Yeah. So
And he's like,
What do you like for
I like a
breakfast?"
good omelet. If you can make a good omelet.
It was
now
just assumed that she was going to make
is the food truck
Right.
woman.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
maybe there's an assumption there.
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
Mel. It wasn't Mel. It was
No, it was
AJ
Marie.
and
Marie. It was Marie and
Yeah,
AJ.
Marie.
Yeah.
What do you eat for breakfast? I'm huge on omelets. So if you can make a mean omelet, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was funny. She's like, if you can cook, I love a good omelet. If you can cook me an omelet,
This is the same person who's referred to Brittany
Right.
that like I have a house or
Well,
something.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you have a house? Well, it's Brittany's
It's Brittany's house. She's the one that's got her shit together. Me, not so much. But.
So yeah, I don't know. Now AJ's. Yeah, she was here, and then she's really going down here.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do you think of these new couples? Who's the most likely to stay together? Out of the new couples.
Stay together or
Like, choose
learn
the new
something.
partner.
Choose their new
I
partner.
think it's too early to
don't
tell
know.
right now, man. I mean, I need to see the next
Yeah,
episode.
same.
I need to
Same
see
too.
how
I
it
need
plays
to see
out
episode
before
4.
I
I need to see
pick.
episode 4. Right?
I honestly think that Megan and oh my gosh, who did Megan choose?
I think Haley.
Is it Haley?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Megan and Haley are gonna learn a lot.
Now,
I agree
Megan
with that. I
seemed to
agree with
put it out there like, hey, if there's physical stuff, I have an issue with that. But she seems to bring it up with Haley.
She did with Haley. That's right. She had a conversation with her, like, hey, how do you feel about physical stuff? And Haley's like, well, we'll just play it by ear. And if it gets to that, then great.
I think it was more of a I think it was to establish that I want to start this emotional connection
right.
first. Like, let's not hope that it gets that.
She
that
did kind of
point.
caveat that, like, hey, this is
Afterward.
what I'm looking to get out of
Yeah.
this, like a more solid connection and,
Yeah, exactly.
I think they have the most to learn and take to their.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then
relationships.
Kyle and Pilar, we'll see. Or Kyle and Pilar were together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then who did Kyle end up with?
Who?
Kyle.
Kyle and Pilar.
Pilar,
are together.
you just
Pilar,
said
okay,
it.
yeah. That's what I thought,
You
yeah.
literally just said
Oh, that's
it.
right, because Pilar had the love triangle with Kyle and Bridget,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Kyle and Pilar, I mean, I think they're going to, I don't know, I'm
I
curious to see
feel
what
like
happens with them. I'm
Pilar's
curious to see
more
what happens
into
with them.
Kyle than Kyle is into her at this point.
Yeah, maybe. I
And
don't know.
when they were in the bed, it just seemed like Kyle wasn't too much into
Well, it
it.
seemed like Kyle was just a little nervous, almost.
Yeah,
I
Pilar
think-
seemed very comfortable in that bed.
Yeah, I think Kyle, I think Kyle wasn't into it. I think she was a bit nervous there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does act like that. Even when they're at the table, she's kind of quiet and keeps
Yeah.
to herself a little bit. So
Who knows?
I don't know. And then, but I would tell you, it does seem like what's her name? Dana is really into Mel, though.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
big time. Yeah, Dana's totally in the milk, no doubt.
Yeah, I would be surprised if that doesn't.
I
cross
think
the line.
Dana might, make a move on that.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think if there's a couple right now that's going to happen, it'll be that one.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll end up together.
No, but
I think they'll
I
cross
think
the
that
line.
line's going to get across for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think she's probably better off with Megan, but we'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so right now, though, as far as like really filling out each couple is too early, man. Because I mean,
Too early.
the way the third episode ended, they just finished up, matching up and had their first night. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this fourth episode goes.
Now, do you think Brittany and Marita make it through the whole experiment, or do you think the plug is pulled?
See, I mean,
Because
when-
it ends kind of Brittany is crying and Marita comforts her.
Yeah, she's
Now-
like, hey, you need a hug? And she's like, yeah, I want a hug, so.
In other seasons of the Ultimatum, like even in the heterosexual seasons, when someone like this ends up leaving, the other partner also leaves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see
And there's
AJ leaving.
normally one couple that comes and like proposes to prevent
exactly.
something.
Well, and
I
here's
don't
the
see
thing, too.
AJ leaving.
But-
So
Now she did ask Brittany though. Marita's like,
go?
"Hey, do you want to go home?" And Brittany's like, "No, I got this." she's just feeling bad right now.
Yeah, so-
Yeah,
hopefully she'll stick it out.
And I actually think it's good for them to have each other get through this,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it is a tough time, obviously, for what they're going through, because their partners like supposedly having a good time. These guys are forced together so they can like comfort each other.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully at least try to have a good time together, right? And just go out and do some fun stuff together,
yeah.
So, I mean, it seems like I said, Brittany seemed like she's a sweetheart, and it was nice to see Marita comfort her there. So hopefully those two at least get along to even, at least become good friends or something and hang out and, do
And
something.
it does
I hope
look
they
like
don't go home.
she's recovering, and I mean that was, I guess, the first night, which is probably the hardest one.
Oh, of course.
So.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have their phones and stuff too, and they're communicating and stuff.
yeah.
And I think they're in the same apartment previously.
Complex,
Yeah.
So that just puts them too close in proximity.
Yeah.
no doubt.
And then you could see other couples. I mean, that's kind of weird that they do that, but it's probably easy
Yeah.
for the
And
staff.
passing, going down to the gym.
When it's easier
walking
for when
the
they have the
dog.
get-togethers and all that crap, right? So, yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do you think so far? Of all?
So far, I think it's pretty good, man. I mean, I remember we said with the last one we watched, that, I thought it was probably better. The last, was it Queer Love one that we watched? Was better.
A lot
than
of drama on that last one.
Yeah, it had a lot of drama, and it was better than the first couple heterosexual ones they had. And I'm hoping this one's gonna be as good as that last one was.
I feel like there's more genuine intent
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
with these
so.
couples than there are in the heterosexual
Yeah,
seasons.
definitely.
I mean, there's
Well,
I don't know. Obviously, there's someone like AJ.
AJ.
I question Mel's,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
true intent there. But in general and overall, as a
Yeah.
group,
No, I agree. With
I do
that.
think there's more good
Yeah.
intentions.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, there you go, folks. That is episodes 1 through 3 down. So the couples have all made their choices. Now we get to go back and watch and see what happens after this, right? So we've got, there's 7 episodes out right now, and then the last 3 drop next Wednesday. So, it's only literally a full week of this show, and that's it, and then it's over. So Netflix made it real fast on us here, and we're going to try to get through it all and get back to you guys so you guys can enjoy with us. We love talking to you. Hit us up, and until next time, we'll check y'all at our next review.